Alright everybody, this is a little bit of an update. Hello to you, Nate, from It's Good to See You on here, and hello to everyone that is jumping in. I'm gonna give a little bit of an update. I know it's late, and it's kind of late to do this type of thing, but better late than never. It's just I wanted to wait for the new models to come out, because they come out about 9:30 at night, and it kind of is going to give us a better idea of what to expect with this winter storm that's coming our way. This winter storm is... well, it's going to be kind of difficult to predict. We've got, first off, tomorrow the temperatures are going to rise up to near 50 in a lot of different places. So northern Indiana, northern Ohio, southern Michigan are going to see temperatures in the upper 40s to near 50. Farther south than that, you'll likely see temperatures even higher in southern Indiana, southern Ohio. It's going to be quite warm. So we're going to get into everything that's going to be taking place with this winter storm, the potential for flooding across Indiana, northern Ohio, what's causing that. And then we will just discuss what impacts we could be facing from all this different activity that's going to be taking place. So I'm going to give you the rundown. Let's get right to it. Hopefully this pops up. All right. So this is the current radar that you're looking at right now. It also shows the frontal boundaries because you're going to have to pay attention to where those fronts are as the storm moves through. So you can see here that you have the stationary front. This is actually your warm front right here. Along this area. This is what's bringing that warm air from the south up to the north, and it's also going to be the air that's going to fuel this storm. So this warm front we're going to see throughout the night and throughout the day tomorrow. It's going to start shifting off to the north, and as it shifts off to the north, it's going to bring that warmer air along with it, with temperatures up into the 50s. And then this cold front on the back side is what we're going to have to pay attention to, because where this cold front sets up is really going to tell us where we are going to see the rain to snow transition in the Great Lakes region, and where we'll see the showers and thunderstorms across Indiana and Ohio, okay? So there's quite a bit of variability with the system. The National Weather Service has begun to put out winter storm watches for northern Indiana and southern Michigan. Let's take a quick look at those real quick. So these blue areas you see here are winter storm watches. These green areas here you are seeing are flood watches. So the flood watches are for upwards of up to 1 to 2 inches of rain. So it's going to be quite a bit of rain with this system, especially even for southern Michigan too. We're going to see in southern Michigan 1 inch of, maybe an inch of rain before it transitions to snow. After that, we'll see about 6 to 8 inches of snow potentially. That's what the models are putting out, the latest ones. We'll look at those in just a second. But a lot of different activity to be dealing with here. So one thing that we're watching in southern Michigan in particular, the reason why there's flood watches out, is not only because of the rain, but because of the quickly melting ice that we will see along rivers and streams and things like that. As that ice melts, it could start to accumulate in parts of, it could block off different accesses for the water to flow through, and that's going to cause the potential for ice jams. All right, what's the weather going to be like in southern Missouri as the storm hits? Well, in your area, it looks like there's a flood watch as well. It's nice to see someone watching from southern Missouri, but it looks like you have a flood watch in Springfield areas around there. You're also going to see quite a bit of rain. Let's take a look at that watch as well for that region. Flooding caused by excessive rainfall, 1 to 2 inches of rain. So you're getting the 1 to 2 inches of rain as well. You're likely going to be on the more northern side. You might see a little bit of snow, but not enough to really cause problems. So Great Lakes region, Ohio. Let's look at northern Ohio's flood watch real quick. Looks like you have just flooding caused by rain and snow melt. So you're going to have 1 to 2 inches of rain possible across the region. Also the snow melt, which is going to cause even more potential for flooding. So that's why that flood watch is out. But really in southern Michigan, the potential is for ice jams. And Indiana, again, 1 to 2 inches of rain there as well. You're also going to see some thunderstorms, especially in southern Indiana. I think you have a severe weather risk on Thursday in southern Indiana connected with this system. So that's going to be something you want to keep an eye on. I'm not sure how severe the storms will be for that area, but it looks like it's going to be, I don't think they're going to be really extreme in that region. So southern Michigan, let's look at the winter storm watch now. We've covered the flood watches. Winter storm watches. First off, let's go southwestern Michigan, and also includes South Bend, northern parts of Indiana. Let's check that out real quick. Winter storm watch. Heavy mixed precipitation possible, snow accumulations of 4 to 7 inches and ice accumulations of up to 1/10 of an inch. That is an assessment made by the National Weather Service based on the latest models, and we're going to look at those models in just a second that they're using. You may notice that this area off to the north is not under winter storm watch. That is because the National Weather Service for this area, Grand Rapids, has decided to hold off on posting a watch because they're waiting for the latest models. The latest models have come out. I'm not sure if they're going to determine to issue a watch just yet, but I do believe we will see a watch for areas south of Grand Rapids and along Saginaw Grand Rapids line. I'm expecting some winter storm watches there if models tend to hold out as they have been over the past couple of runs. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. So ice and snow are going to be a possibility with this system, and a flash freeze. So the rain, the 1 to 2 inches of rainfall is going to fall across this particular area where the winter storm potential exists. Then a flash freeze is likely to occur, which could cause some of that rain that's on the roads to kind of settle and freeze into ice. On top of that, we're going to get a 1/10 of an inch of ice, and then it's finally going to transition to snow, where we could see 4 to 7 inches, maybe upwards of 9 to 10 inches in a really narrow strip along the lower Michigan area. Again, there's still a lot of determinations we have to make with the models. We're going to go to those right now, but the setup is there for the warm, moist air to lift from this warm front off to the north, which is something we're going to have to, I think my radar app just crashed, but this warm front here is going to draw that warm, moist air in. It did indeed crash, but that's okay because we're moving on to the next thing. So, this is the GFS model. This is going to give you an idea of the scope of this system. So the warm front is along this red line right here, kind of. It's pretty close. The 546 line is what we're keeping an eye on for this warmer air that's going to be moving in. This is your low pressure system setting up off into the plains, parts of Colorado. And let's see how it evolves as we progress forward with this. Hopefully it renders. My computer's running kind of slow at the moment. Alright, so you're at Wednesday, kind of morning, around 10 a.m. Wednesday. You see that rain starting to develop along that cold air mass and where the warm and cold air masses meet. Pay attention to this 540 line, okay? This blue line right here. The 540 line tells us really where we could see a good transition from rain to snow or from rain to ice. So we pay attention to that in regards to where the freezing point allows for snow to fall. So right now it's off to the north, way up there in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So it's dipping a little bit to the south in the plains. So let's watch this forecast materialize. Got a few showers and thunderstorms popping up in parts of Missouri, Illinois, maybe even in parts of central Illinois here. So, and then on the northern edge, you can see that wintry mix, that pink indicates a wintry mix. The wintry mix will likely be developing. Let's go into full screen, make it easier for everyone to see that wintry mix starting to develop, and then it's going to progress. And then this model is kind of putting out that, I mean, the rain is going to fall along this area here, southern Michigan, northern Indiana. These areas here are expecting quite a heavy bout of snow. And this is going to be interesting to watch right here. Where the center of low pressure is, we could see severe weather on the south side and then heavy snow on the north side. That's happened on rare occasions. It could happen again with this system as well. So there is supposed to be a severe weather event in southern parts of the United States. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. So the rain's going to move through this area, and then you're going to see a wintry mix and snow on the northern side. Right now it's going to be fairly light and scattered. If you're on the northern edge of this system, if you're very close to where the wintry mix is, you're likely going to see quite a bit of a wintry mix throughout the day. Now, as this low pressure system pushes forward, we see on the top side of it, we've got heavy snow and a heavy wintry mix developing with this system. So as this progresses, it's going to run into the Great Lakes region and dump a lot of snow in a matter of a few hours. And I mean, we could see snowfall rates of 1 inch to 2 inches per hour, maybe even more than that in parts of southern lower Michigan, northern Indiana, extreme northwestern Ohio, while severe weather continues across this line here with the potential for damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. It's the season for it. We're approaching spring, so it's not surprising that we see a scenario like this set up in the southern areas, the Dixie Valley region. So storm will move out, and then all will be quiet from there. We're going to get a bout of cold air for a couple days. Then we're actually going to warm back up into the 40s as spring tries to make its run into our area. In long range, we're looking at another Cape Clipper system that might move through on Saturday. So more snow on top of what we already have before that warm-up begins to move in later on. So, but we'll focus on that later. We're dealing with this winter storm we're going to see over the next couple of days. So that's what we have to deal with coming up. This potential winter storm that's coming through. Let's take a look at a more high definition model, the NAM model. We'll go into that real quick. This is the NAM model. It kind of gives us a more high definition view of what's going to happen, and it gives us a hour by hour view rather than just over 3 different hours. So it's kind of a more, it's pretty valuable data here. So you got that ridge forming just like the other models putting out. Got that rain line beginning to develop between those two air masses, the cold and the warm air mass. And then you see that rain start to develop and really start to organize into a line being fueled by the warm air from the Gulf of Mexico. Continues to form, and then you see the snow on the top side, kind of going to be scattered in nature if you're on the northern edge, and then you have that scattered showers along the southern edge, which are pretty widespread, and it's going to continue to progress northeastward. This is running rather slow for me right now, unfortunately. Hopefully we can get it re-rendering. Alright, so rain's going to move mostly northeast, but partially southeast. So as that cold air mass begins to take a grip over southern lower Michigan, and then as it progresses, you got that ice and snow that's going to be scattered in nature, moving across along the northern edge of the system before the widespread stuff runs into place. That's where we could see our heavy dump of snow right there. That snow, widespread snowfall, widespread ice accumulation potential possible in parts of northern Indiana, northern Ohio. This area could see some pretty heavy snowfall accumulation, or heavy ice accumulations, whereas the snow will kind of stick around farther north. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on with regards to this system, and it's going to last, it's going to be in and out. It's going to be through here in a matter of 13, maybe 14 hours. So that means we could see snowfall totals over 6 inches in this particular region in less than 14 hours, likely even more than 6 inches. According to latest models, we could see quite a bit of snow. So going to be something to keep an eye on over the next couple of days, and that Clipper system on Saturday that we'll have to watch as well. All right, let's take a look at the 4 models for snow totals. There's 4 models that I'm keeping an eye on for snow totals, and the National Weather Service is also keeping an eye on those. If you want to see their forecast, which is more official than mine, it is official, and not mine is not. You go to the National Weather Service, they might give you a more accurate depiction of what's going on. Let me just show you the sheer variability between these models. The models are really putting out 2 different scenarios with the system. The GFS, actually, interestingly, is trending much farther south than it was over the last couple of runs. So anywhere from 8 to 12 inches along this narrow band, and it's actually kind of following along with 2 other models. It's starting to agree with other models, which is the one model that's not really agreeing with these is the ECMWF, which we'll look at last. But GFS puts out 8 to 12 inches in parts of Michigan, northern Indiana, and even up to 13 inches in northwestern Indiana. So that's the first model to look at, GFS. NAM is really what is more followed. We'll look at that one. Kind of a similar scenario, 12 inches along a narrow band in northwestern Indiana, southern lower Michigan, then 6 to 8 inch or 7 to 9 inches in other parts of this little pink band you see here. So you can really see that this is the bullseye for snowfall development. The HRR model kind of putting in a little more of an intense scenario for northwestern Indiana, but still you can see that trend for this region facing quite a bit of snow. The one model that is not agreeing with the rest is the ECMWF, and it is really throwing me off here. ECMWF really dropping things down farther to the south and a lot less intense than what these other 3 models are putting out. So the 6-7 inches of snow in parts of northeastern Indiana, in fact, and even getting down closer to central Indiana, there's going to be snow based on this model. But this model is the model that is not agreeing with these other 3. And so I'm going along the lines of these 3 models here, NAM, GFS, and HRRR, because they're far more agreeable with each other than the ECMWF is, where the model drops it south. So I personally am going by the NAM, again, not an official forecast because it's just a model, but National Weather Service has got you covered there. But NAM seems to have a fairly good judgment on where the snow might fall. So southern Michigan, eastern Michigan, 8 to 10 inches, maybe locally higher amounts possible. Northwestern Indiana, 12 inches. And we're not even considering the fact that there's going to be freezing rain with this system. So let's look at that. Freezing rain will occur with this system in some spots. That's why they're forecasting up to 1/10 of an inch of ice in some spots. So if you look here, freezing rain potential is shown. The amount of freezing rain that could accumulate, again, I think it's going to be lowered. Sometimes it goes a bit excessive in these little southern parts of the freezing rain band, but I think it's going to be farther up here. They're forecasting up to 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation in parts of southern Michigan, northern Indiana, and along with that, 6 to 10 inches of snow. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on as these models evolve. So that's really all I was going to show you for the time being. Again, heavy snow in southern Michigan, northern Indiana, with some ice beforehand that will make it slick on the roads. There's going to be quite a bit of travel impacts. Wouldn't be surprised to see some school closings over the next couple of days. Unless you're on midwinter break, then lucky you. So I'll post more updates as they come if necessary, and hopefully this video gave you some information, or this live stream gave you some information in regards to what we could see. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the different places that you could find me and providing updates. So I will see you on there.